Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Toolkit Tuesday. We're coming to you today by video. We're really excited to share a new virtual studio set here at Meydenbauer Center in Bellevue, Washington, and the project with Audiovisual Factory and Meydenbauer Center partnering to create a new space for you to conduct virtual events. And we want you to be able to experience today how a video recording in a virtual studio compares to some of the other virtual platforms for events that we're using, and see some of the great wins around this new technology and showcase this partnership. I'd like to start by making sure you all understand it's our goal to bring you new tips, showcase tools, best practices, have you learn from things that we maybe don't do right, learn the hard way, and have us show you how it can and can't be done, and then you can add that to your toolkit, and again, just be a leader in the event space, showing how we can all make adjustments for our current situation and continue to deliver great content to our audiences. I'm excited to start today by welcoming our guest, Chris Baldini with Audiovisual Factory. Chris, welcome.
Hey, Lynn.
Excited to have you here today. Thank you for having us in your new virtual studio. Super cool. I always wanted to have a talk show, and here we are.
There you go.
We're doing it. Thanks for the setup. I appreciate it. Chris is a veteran in the event technology space, been in the business a long time, and has worked on some of the greatest technical shows that there are. He also has spent some time in the extreme sports world, and so I feel like you are now joining your extreme sports experience with the new way to do virtual events.
Yeah, putting together virtual events and live events, and anything that comes our way at this point. Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit, Chris, about this amazing new space and how event planners should consider using this tool. Share, how did this partnership even come about?
So we've had some free time on our hands the last couple of weeks. So we've been brainstorming internally, just like everybody else out there. How are we going to keep ourselves busy during this little bit of a downturn? And as we were talking to partners throughout the industry, it became obvious that there's really not a ton of studio space in the Seattle region to begin with. And as everyone is pivoting more towards these online virtual events, that space has really gotten used up quickly. So it can be hard to find studio space to work. We just happen to be in-house here at the Meydenbauer Center, and they're kind of in the same boat as the rest of us. They don't have a whole lot going on. So we talked to them about, hey, let's see if we can build a studio. We've got a bunch of space, a world-class event facility, and we've got all the equipment. So let's put it together and see what happens.
Excellent. Yeah. And for the event planner, what are you solving for? What solution are you providing with this virtual studio that planners should be considering as they think about how to deliver virtual content?
Well, one of the things we really thought about was, cool, we can build a studio. Great. There's a bunch of them out there, but this is new to a lot of people. And when you go and rent a studio for the day, you get a big open box. You have to build it out however you need to use it. So our goal has been to build really a turnkey solution where everything's already here. And if you want to come in and shoot something really quickly, you can do that. There's obviously some planning that's involved in putting it all together, but you can walk into the room and get going really fast, as opposed to a normal studio where you may spend a day or 2 days building out a complete set and building everything the way that you need to be. So we have this kind of preset arrangement. And that doesn't mean you can't come in and tear this all down and build something completely custom if you want to, because we can certainly do that. But the goal is really make this as easy as possible for all of the event planners and their clients to start shooting footage and shooting webcasts.
And I think as we've been conducting virtual events the last couple weeks, we've been using different platforms, and I've talked about in a previous video we did about when you have these high quality speakers that have great content, and they're now basically the production value is their home office, and the quality of the video, the quality of the sound is a little bit challenging. You're relying on their ability to know their technology. When's the last time they got a new laptop, and the sound, the quality, their connectivity. I think what I noticed immediately was the quality of using this amazing technology that you've built in here, how that actually transfers onto the guest experience at the end. It's like watching a TV show and having an overall better guest experience, which is what's always important to us. Tell us a little bit about the safety features of the new virtual setting.
Sure. Yeah, we definitely thought about safety. Obviously a really big deal right now. So when we built this, the studio space that we're in right now is completely isolated from our control room. So we literally have 2 technicians in here with us right now, the studio manager and 1 camera operator. And they're kind of tag teaming the 3 cameras that we have going on. With the idea that your people are physically isolated from as many of our people as possible, keeping everybody safe. The actual control room, which is behind us, is also built out with safety in mind, and all the tech stations are separated by at least 6 feet. There's no linens or anything in that room. Everything's really easy to wipe down and sanitize. The technical staff here, actually, everyone gets their temperature checked when they walk in at the beginning of their shift, and there's a log of all of that. So we're taking safety very seriously. And actually, we put together a really quick walkthrough video to kind of show everyone backstage how this thing all works. I literally shot it on my cell phone yesterday afternoon, so production value isn't excellent, but it'll give you an idea of what we have going on. So let's roll the video.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Dan Barry with AV Factory, and I just wanted to give you a quick tour of the virtual event studio we've built here at the Meydenbauer Center in Bellevue. As you can see, we've got things set up for kind of a talk show look. This is something we just threw together. It can be reconfigured to match any design that you're looking for. But if you don't have that much time to think about it, we've thought about some of those elements for you. For example, as a backdrop, we have our video projection screen that can be any image that you want and can be changed throughout your event. We can change the colors of the lights, but everything that you need to produce your events here. We've got 3 professional broadcast quality cameras. We've got a couple of monitors and plenty of lights overhead, and wireless lavalier mics and handheld mics, and as well as overhead mics. We also have built-in speakers in the studio so that if you're having a live Teams or a Zoom call, you can hear your attendees asking you questions or responding to what you have to say when you want them to. Let's take a look inside of our completely isolated control room. You won't see any of us, but you might have to interact with us over the headset. In here we have Andrew, who's our web stream manager. He'll be monitoring everything that's going live to the web. Over here, we're missing our operator because he's a little bit camera shy, but this is where all of the on-screen content is produced, as well as content that's sent to the monitors in the room. Over here we've got Judah. Judah is managing speaker titles or video playback that would happen during your stream. Here we have an empty slot for a teleprompter, so if you need a teleprompter, we can have somebody sitting there running it for you. Daniel is our dual-purpose lighting designer and record operator, and Ethan is in charge of all of the audio, both in the room and on the stream. So we've got a full team here, minimally staffed to comply with social distancing guidelines, and we'd love to have you be a part of it.
That was awesome. I loved getting the behind the scenes tour. That was great for you guys showing off some of the capabilities and letting the planners see what the setup is here.
We're pretty excited about it. We got to build a little TV studio.
Yeah.
We just need to show people what's going on.
It's awesome. So let's talk about some of the elements that you guys have to consider when doing a set, the actual set. You guys are pros at lighting, sound, music, content that we're putting up here. We've talked about how to brand this amazing backdrop. Tell us about how it's customizable and how some groups would be able to really develop this scene that people are seeing, the set.
Sure. Yeah, obviously the easiest and probably the most impactful thing is this is a giant video wall behind us. So you can put anything you want up on here. PowerPoint content. We could have rolled Dan's video up here if we wanted to. You can see that it's super easy to change. So really quick and easy way, talk to our guys before you come out, make sure your content works, everything fits, and we can just throw it up there really quickly. You can also do anything you want to the stage itself. This is literally furniture that we borrowed from the venue because we didn't have any furniture to bring in here. So this is their lounge furniture and one of their banquet tables. But you can bring in anything you want. There's a freight elevator to get up here. Anything that'll fit, go ahead and bring it in. The hard surround of the video screen is actually a Velcro compatible material, so you can print graphics and Velcro things up there if you wanted to totally brand this whole surround differently. So there's lots of things. You can also do things on the TV side of it. You've seen that we've had some lower thirds that have been showing up with our names and contact info. You can bring graphics up on the screen, static, motion graphics, kind of whatever you want to do. You just work with our team beforehand and we can help you get that all preloaded and figure out when it makes sense.
Well, and I think as planners are accustomed to thinking about your live main stage, right? Where do you put branding? What is the set? How tall are the chairs for the speakers? All of that. Also, when you think about your sponsor and their logo exposure, when we'll get into pricing here in just a minute, but when we talk about showcasing partners, funding partners, sponsors, there's a lot of ways to do that. They could create videos, bumper videos before, after, that can be inserted. We talked briefly, had we had a little bit more time, we were talking about a cool news desk, brand the front of that with whatever partners we have. So think about all of the branding that you have on your main stage, and that can be incorporated here into this set, right?
I mean, you're basically creating a TV show, so anything you see on TV, you can do here as long as you have the time to put it together. And then you can also incorporate a lot of the things that you do during your normal live events. Sponsor roles are really easy to roll before the event starts, things like that. So you can really carry a lot of the live event function into the studio space.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about the pricing. I don't want to hold you to it, but just a range so that planners can think about whether they can employ this really cool new tool.
Sure.
What kind of a budget range are we looking at? And
so we did some market research, and we're trying to be very cost competitive on pricing, but we're also trying to provide a very high quality product, which obviously takes equipment and people. So what we've done is we've partnered with the Meydenbauer, and we've come up with just flat rates for the room rental, the internet, the power, and all of our AV equipment that's in here. So those flat rates for all the equipment in the room, it's $3,000 for a 5-hour half-day call and $5,000 for a full day call. And then labor for technicians is on top of that, because that really just depends on what you're doing. If you're doing something really simple, you can get away with 4 or 5 guys. If you're doing something much more complex and produced, and you want teleprompters and you have a lot of graphics and tons of video rolls and all this kind of stuff and a lot of moving cameras, you might be looking at more like 10 guys to put something like that together. And rates for labor varies a little bit depending on the position, but ballpark about $75 an hour for a technician is a good place to start. So that $5,000, $10,000, $12,000 price range is kind of what you're looking at for a full day of production in here.
Well, and I always, when working with our clients, we always say where you don't want to skimp is on sight and sound. They gathered to be able to see and hear. And really, this is an amazing investment. And, for nonprofits out there that are looking at trying to, send a fundraising message, you can get in fairly reasonable, 5,000 something, maybe if you want to go all the way.
Well, and honestly,
limit, but
we are kicking this thing off on the eve of a 2-week shutdown across the state. So, give us a call. We can be somewhat flexible. We just want to see it take off. We think it's a really valuable tool for everybody. And, if you have a really limited budget, give us a call. We'll see if we can make something work. Can't promise anything, but we're willing to work with you and try to make something come
They
together.
should always make the ask.
Yeah.
What should event planners, what should they know before they call you and inquire? Are there certain things you want to have them have answers to when they reach out?
I think you really want to approach the studio shoot just like you would approach a live event. So just because you have a space and you don't have a live audience in here doesn't mean that you can't do all the proper planning that you normally need to do.
Thanks for that, Sara.
Yeah. So you really want to kind of have, when you first contact us, at least have an idea of what are you trying to do? Are you just shooting a video? Are you trying to do a webcast? Are you trying to do more of like a teleconference where you want people to call in and ask questions, things like that? How long it's going to be, how many people you're going to have on the stage. All the kind of stuff that goes into a live event you have to think about in here as well. And you may not know the answers to all that stuff right away because it's possibly new.
Yeah.
But we can help you work through that, but have a general idea of what you want to accomplish. And then before you actually come in to shoot your event, all that planning that you normally do before a live event is very important. Studio time's expensive no matter what you do. So whatever you can do to develop your script and your production schedule, maybe even do rehearsals with your talent off-site before you come here just so that they're comfortable once they get into the room. All that stuff that you can do off-site saves you on studio time.
That's a great point. And many of our speakers that we use at live events have never been in a studio. And I got to say, it's definitely a different setting. And it would be worthwhile to make sure you get them trained up. We've been doing that on the virtual platforms, is making sure that they're trained up on how to maneuver inside of a webinar. But this is a new tool. So again, getting them in here and familiar. But like you said, production schedules, scripts, all that planning so that when you get in here, you're ready to maximize the opportunity while you're in the studio itself. Anything else that you want to share about again, I just want to commend you on your thought leadership as an audiovisual partner. We have enjoyed our partnership with AV Factory for many years and produced great live shows. And now I just want to, again, recognize your innovation around finding a new solution for event planners to use to deliver great content. So anything else you want to share?
We're just excited to get this out there. I think it's a really valuable tool. And it's funny, a bunch of our crew that has been doing live events forever now with us actually have a history in studios. So they're kind of in heaven now that they get to go back to doing some studio work. So it's been really fun. We're just excited to see some people start using it, and we'll see what we can do.
Well, it certainly is a different quality, and you've got the best gear, the best technicians in here to put on a great show and do it virtually. So thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it. Again, I would encourage all the planners to take a look at when you're experiencing a virtual event. One of the tips that I've shared is to have the planners join webinars, join live streams, experience this new virtual event as a guest and see what works and what doesn't. But really, we're hoping in today's video that we can show you the difference in quality between the webcasting from your laptop web camera and being in a virtual studio, branding it out, and really having a higher production value to it. So super excited to welcome our next guest today. We have Sara Waltemire from the Meydenbauer Center. She's the Director of Sales, and she has been in the industry for a long time, and she's a thought leader, been in this venue, but also worked in some corporate meeting planning role. So you've been on the side of the planner, which is great. And then also she's a leader in our industry in the International Association of Venue Managers. So not only a thought leader here in the Bellevue and our Washington, we're really glad to have you, but also on the international stage, working with other venue managers. And I'm sure you guys are being tested. How are things? How are you holding up?
It's been an interesting time. And it's kind of interesting because I've been talking with a lot of the venues across the country and across Canada as well. And we are all kind of in the same situation where we're thinking on our toes and figuring out, what does this look like and how long is this going to be the situation?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is an amazing facility, and you guys were then approached by AV Factory to take some of your space and repurpose it for this virtual studio, right? So
yeah.
How was that for you guys as the venue?
It was pretty exciting. I would say I got a call from Chris maybe a week and a half ago. So it's been a really fast process.
Short runway.
Yes. I think that he called me maybe on a Wednesday, and they were in our building Monday or Tuesday starting to build all this out.
Very cool.
And we just opened up really today. This is our first time using it. But it was pretty exciting. I was really grateful for the innovation that AV Factory was demonstrating. We are just sitting empty. Our staff doesn't have a lot of things going on, and it felt like a really good opportunity to help people continue meeting in whatever form and fashion we can.
Absolutely. And how are you, so it's a new product, and
yes.
Congratulations again on a week or a couple days in pulling this together. How are you marketing the studios, the new virtual studio? How do planners learn about it? Obviously, we're sharing here today, but what's their best resource to reach out, and how are you guys sharing the information?
Yeah, so we do actually have information about this posted on our website. So you can find a specific landing page at meydenbauer.com/virtual-events. And it's our main way we're getting it out there, but we've been talking a lot with our network. We've been doing a lot of email marketing. All of our event managers and sales managers have been reaching out to all their contacts, getting in front of them where we can. And we've been really trying to get a buzz around it on social media, both on our own channels and then also in partnership with Visit Bellevue, who has some great resources and connections as well. And then we were really fortunate in that while AV Factory was building all of this out, we actually had a couple of people come in for site tours for live events in the future. And
nice.
So we had a couple of corporate clients who got a sneak peek of all the fabulous equipment we were having put in place.
That's amazing. I know we've done events live where we have created an interview space for some of the speakers. After they're done on the main stage, they can come in and do more of an interview style. And I could see, I keep saying that the more we are forced to use these new tools, I think we will continue to use them because we just have a better working knowledge of the benefits of having them. So I could absolutely see someone, as we get back to business as usual, having a live event, but keeping the studio here as a tool to be able to create, higher level of production around your videos, post, again, speakers post-show and sponsors to be able to come in and do videos and take advantage of this space to do a demo that you could incorporate into the show. There's just a lot of possibilities, and I'm excited that you guys were so innovative to keep Bellevue open for business during this challenging time, because we still need to share content, and finding new ways to do it is great. So tell me a little bit more about the supplemental services that you guys have here if we were to come use the virtual studios.
Yeah, so we're still a full service convention center. We're still operating in that way. So one of the big things that we have that we can offer is we have a gig of internet ready to go in our building at all times. So when we have those shows that are a little bit more technical and have a little bit higher of an internet bandwidth need, we're still able to accommodate that. The other thing that's really awesome is we've got a fantastic catering crew that pretty much works just outside the studio here, happy to put together snacks, or if we have people here all day, can put together full meals if needed.
Right, and Chris talked about some of the safety measures that Audiovisual Factory has taken to ensure a safe environment. And again, as we move maybe past the shelter in place and we get back to being able to do things in the space virtually, safety is just a huge issue, and they've done that. I assume your venue as well is thinking about that top of mind, safety for those who do come in to the studios.
Yeah, one of our big focuses is he mentioned like no linen on a lot of the tables and things like that. We're really focused on the sanitation and disinfecting. So we have got tons of hand sanitizer right outside the studio here, but we also have crew coming in and really cleaning and sanitizing every space that people are in, just to make sure that we're keeping everyone as safe as possible.
I really appreciate that. That's great to know. And then I do think as a planner, you would want to communicate that to anyone you're inviting into the studios, that both the venue and your audiovisual technical team have taken this all into consideration. Anything else you'd like to share that we've got an audience of event planners that would just want to make sure we cover what they should be thinking about when they call you to check space and what that process is like?
Yeah, our sales and event managers are still happy to field all the calls on this. I think we're going to lean a little bit more on our AV partners than we normally would. We are certainly not the technical experts here, but we are available to have conversations with any type of client, and what we're really looking to understand is how many people are you bringing in, what hours are you looking at, just to make sure that we have that staff available to make sure we're meeting those safety precautions.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time. And again, congratulations on standing this up so quickly and bringing planners a great solution. So we're really happy to be one of the first using the studio, and super excited to share the word about it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So that gets close to wrapping up our Toolkit Tuesday. I really want to share with planners that I know it's a tough time right now, and we're all reeling with how to, build a better boat and figure out what the new normal is. And these virtual tools have been around a long time. And I've said before, I feel like I viewed them as an ancillary service, fill the ballroom, and then, oh, that's right, let's also have live stream so a few people can join virtually. And now it's flipped our world around, and we really are having to bring events and people together virtually with a lot of different tools. Toolkit will continue to bring you different tools and show you how to use them and what we're learning from them, the best practices. And we also believe in partnership. All of our amazing venue partners, your vendors, your AV companies, all of the partners that we work with are challenged right now. And so it just shows how innovative and nimble our industry is when you have partners like these that we value tremendously at Proper Planning. We've worked with these people for years, and to have the ability and the relationship to make a call and say, we've got something cool and new, will you come try it out, Lynn? So thank you again, AV Factory and your incredible technical team. Thank you, Meydenbauer Center, for being here with us today. And we're gonna have contact information on the last slide so you can reach out to these partners to take advantage. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll be in touch soon.